secondary data. So this is an important one. So if the SBA uses secondary data, and what is secondary data? Secondary data is data that you did not obtain yourself. You didn't go and run the experiments and collect the data. You actually get the data from somebody else who did the experiment. That's secondary data. All right, so when you're dealing with secondary information, you need to give some more information about it. So describe the source. The first point is you need to describe the source. Describe the scope of the data set. So for example, here we have the data from mystudycommunity.com had 1,000 entries with 14 variables, including age, height, weight, religion, etc. By the way, if you all don't know about mystudycommunity.com, it's an excellent website for study tips, study tricks, what to do when you're not feeling to study. There's a lot of free information, and they are the ones who are actually doing these videos just to help the Caribbean in general. So if you haven't done yet, feel free to like, subscribe, and share the videos. Also, Mr. Lakan, who's presenting, he loves coffee, so feel free to buy him a coffee in the link below. All right, moving on now. Explaining the portions explain what portions was used and why. So for example, we select 50 entries and use only the age and weight because those were relevant to the SBA. So include when the data set was accessed, because sometimes data sets update. So it could be simple, accessed on February the 9th, 2023. And if it's a website, if it's an online website, put the website. Right, so it's clear. So example, the survey was conducted on January 6, 1986, and clarify if the data set is free and cite the usage policy. So example, the data set is freely available for educational use only, and we have the fair use policy from My Study Community right here. You should be able to, and this is an important point. So this is your method of data collection. Somebody not involved in the SBA should be able to pick up your method of data collection and read it in its entirety and either understand how to reproduce your experiment or where to get the data from. So that's important. If you know that can't happen, then you definitely need to do more for your method of data collection. Lovely.